guys, my name is Trinh and today I'm here to do a really fun book tag. Basically, this is the Anti-Tbr Tag and the creator is Nicole and her books. I will have her channel and then the link to the original video down in the description box below. Basically, this tag is pretty fun. I believe there are like 8 or 9 questions, 8 questions. And basically these questions represent the books or like the authors that you're not planning to read, because obviously this is a booktube channel. I read all the time, but I'm also very conscious of the books that I'm gonna read and also the authors that I'm gonna support. And also a disclaimer, I know that there's a good chance I will offend someone. I'm just gonna say it right here. If I happen to talk about a book that you love or like a series that you love or like an author that you love, just know that I am not attacking you. I'm really not, okay? I'm just telling you my opinions regarding the books, series, and authors that I'm not planning to read at all. At the end of the day, you can do whatever you want. You can read whatever books you want, and I can do whatever I want, and then I can read the books that I want to read, you know? So yeah, let's get started. Number 1, a popular book everyone loves that you have no interest in reading. Surprisingly, I had a really hard time coming up with an answer, and then just this morning I remember, oh yeah, I kind of don't want to read this book anymore, and that is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Yes, it's really shocking because this was on my TBR for like a year. Basically, this book came out fall of 2019, and I remember the hype for this book, and of course I really wanted to read it, but it's been a year. I don't have any interest in reading this anymore, which is kind of disappointing and shocking because I really like Leigh Bardugo. I used to love her like so much. So when I saw this book this morning, I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to read that book anymore. So I took it out of my TBR, which is kind of disappointing, but it's fine. Number 2, a classic book or author you don't have an interest in reading. When it comes to a classic book, I have to say The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. I think that's the author. But basically this book, I've never read it and I don't really care to read it. It never caught my attention because here's the thing, if it caught my attention, I would have read it by now, but I never read it. I never read in high school or college, so yeah, maybe I'll change my mind, but most likely not. Number 3, an author whose books you have no interest in reading, and then 3.2, a problematic author whose books you have no interest in reading. I have 2 authors that I want to talk about. Number 1 is Jay Kristoff. I never care about his books, okay? I will say the covers for some of them are pretty cool, but other than that, I never read any of his books. I don't really want to read any of his books, and I believe he's kind of problematic. I don't remember the list of things that he has done that's like really bad, but I will say there's like one instance that put a bad taste in my mouth. I believe there's an artist who got criticized. I'm not gonna go with that. I believe Jay Kristoff dragged a person on Twitter, and it looks really bad because I believe the person that he dragged was a black woman. That's all I have to say. And then Mackenzie Lee. I never care about her books. I think this year, I'm pretty sure it came out this year. It feels like a lifetime ago. I believe she was signing books on other people's books. It was kind of weird. So when it comes to problematic authors, I will remember certain things, but other than that, everything I forget. My memory is not good, so I believe she's problematic. I believe Jay Kristoff is also problematic. Even if they are not problematic, I will not read their books either because I don't have an interest in reading them. Number 4, an author you have read a couple of books from and have decided their books are not for you. The first author is Sarah J. Maas. This hurts me so much because I loved Sarah J. Maas, okay? Like, you can definitely ask my friend Kyla because I got her and her family into reading Sarah J. Maas, okay? Like, I was a big fan of the Thorough Glass series. I was a big fan of A Court of Thorns and Roses. Yeah, there we go. Holy shit. I read so many of her books, and not just that, I really wanted to continue with both series, but I just gave up. It was last year. I literally unhauled all of my books and sold them on Depop. And honestly, thank you to the people who bought the books from me. Really appreciate it. It's really hard to pinpoint a reason why I don't read her books anymore, or like I don't have an interest in reading her books anymore. I cannot tell you a good reason because it just happened gradually. Like eventually I just stopped reading her books, and then next thing you know, I just unhaul all of my books from Sarah J. Maas, which is like sad because I was clinging onto them because the covers are so beautiful. I genuinely love the covers for the Throne of Glass series. For A Court of Thorns and what? A Court of Thorns and Roses. There we go. For the covers, not bad, but I will say the cover change. is ugly. But long story short, I don't read her books anymore. That's about it. The second author, oh my god, this came to mind. Colleen Hoover. I was also a diehard fan for Colleen Hoover. When it comes to the list of books that she have, I want to say I think I had like 80% of the books that she has published, okay? So I think I stopped at It Ends With Us. But other than that, I really enjoyed her books. I had everything. And then eventually I'm just like, this is not my thing anymore. I was in high school when I read her books, and I think that's why I really love her books, is because I was in high school, like I was a teenager, but I was reading new adult books and I learned so much. But eventually, as I have gone older, I have definitely noticed that a lot of her shit is quite problematic. Like the book, what is it? What's like the book? November 9? That book is horrible. It's horrible. And I hated the fact that I read that book when I was like 17 and I thought it was so freaking good. And yeah, it's not, okay? Like the shit that happened in that book is not good at all. And I hate the fact that the ratings on Goodreads is so high. I'm looking right now, it has a 4.34 ratings on Goodreads. That book isn't even good. I stopped reading Colleen Hoover's books I think back in 2016, and honestly it's been great. Like it's been 4 years. I don't even think about her books anymore. The only reason why I kind of noticed her lately is because whenever I'm on Goodreads I see her face. I think she's promoting her newest book right now. But yeah, that's my answer for this question. Number 5, a genre you have no interest in or a genre you tried to get into and couldn't. My answer has to be horror and thriller books. This is a very serious question. If you have watched my wrap-up videos, do you ever hear me talk about books from the horror thriller genre? No, I don't know why. I just never got into reading those books. It's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I definitely want to get into it, but I never tried to read a book from that genre. And honestly, there's a good chance I won't change my ways. You never know. You never know, okay? This is me not saying never, but still, as of right now, I never ever make an effort to read books from that genre. I will say, when it comes to horror manga, I love horror manga, okay? Right now I'm reading Tokyo Ghoul volume 11, and let me tell you, I'm having the best time right now. Even though it's really scary and creepy, I love horror manga. But when it comes to horror books, you know, like in novel form, I never care about them. So yeah, that's my answer. Number 6, a book you have bought but will never read. This can be a book you have unhauled / returned to the library unread. My answer for this is Again But Better by Christine Riccio. This one hurts me, and here's the reason why. This book is written by a booktuber, and not just that, a booktuber that I love so freaking much, okay? So Christine is the very first booktuber that I discovered back in 2013. So when she came out with a book, Again But Better, I believe spring of 2019, I pre-ordered the book. I got it signed. I got the signed copy, and then when I met her at Book Expo and BookCon, I got her to sign it again, like a personalized kind of thing, you know? She wrote my name and everything. She drew in it. It was great. Real quick, I'm not bashing on Christine Riccio, okay? This is just me talking about the book, not the author. Anyway, I believe it was a few months ago, Lily C. Reads uploaded a video kind of critiquing on Again But Better, the book. After watching that video, I'm just like, I don't think I can read the book anymore, because in the video, Lily, she said that Again But Better reminds her of Anna and the French Kiss, and there's cheating in this, there's slut shaming, and the guy, the love interest palette is literally the worst, and I heard that the writing isn't good. I just heard so much about this book. Eventually I lost interest, so I actually unhauled the book. I believe I donated to my library. Yeah, that's my story for Again But Better. Number 7, a series you have no interest in reading or a series you started and have DNF'd. I have 2 series in mind, and I'm gonna talk about them both because it's written by the same author, and that is A Darker Shade of Magic and This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab. This is sad. It's sad because I had these books. Eventually I'm just like, I don't want to read them anymore, so I unhauled them, and I'm planning to sell them on Depop soon, so look out for that. Recently I just came to the conclusion that I have too many unread books in my collection, so I went through everything and I just unhauled like a bunch of books. These are the books that I have, and I just don't care about them anymore. And here's the thing, I'm sure they're good, okay, because these books are pretty popular and people have read them and loved them, so I'm sure that they're good. However, when I think about the books that I'm planning to read in the upcoming year, I cannot imagine myself reading these books in 2021. That means that I might never read these books, you know, so I just unhaul them. Let's just move on to the next question, which is a very last question. Oh my god. Number 8, a new release you have no interest in reading. This book is coming out in February of 2021, and that is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. First of all, this cover sucks ass. I'm very sorry to the people who love Sarah J Maas and collect her books, because this cover doesn't match with the first 4 books. There's like a cover change mid-series, and that's like the worst thing ever. But anyway, I kid you not, I completely forgot about this book until 2 days ago, because I saw someone talking about it and I was like, oh yeah, there's a new book from that series that I gave up. It's coming out literally in 2 months, I think. I completely forgot about this book. I completely forgot that there's gonna be more books in this series, because I think it was supposed to be a trilogy. Obviously, I'm not gonna read this book because it is by Sarah J Maas and I have given up on literally all of her books. And then also, when it comes to the series, I just don't care about them anymore. I think the series was fun to read when I was in high school, but now that I'm no longer in high school, it's just a whatever kind of series, you know. I think I read only the first 2 books, and then eventually I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to read this anymore. I'm glad that you guys are getting more Sarah J Maas content, but for me, I have no opinion, to be honest. I don't hate this book, but I'm not gonna love this book, you know, because I'm not gonna read this book. And you know what, I should stop now. I should stop now. I've been talking for so long. So yeah, those are my answers for these questions. Regarding the people that I'm tagging, honestly, if you haven't done this tag and you really want to do it, go ahead and do it. It's really fun. And also shout out to Elena the Great. Elena the Great. Oh my god, I watched her video literally like 2 months ago, and I remember commenting being like, oh my god, I totally want to do this tag, and here I am doing it 2 months later. And also, I want to say happy holidays, because I'm pretty sure this video will go up before Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, happy holidays. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you will have a great time with your family. I know that this year is literally the fucking worst. I just hope that a lot of people, actually I hope everyone will have a great holiday. That's about it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.